Diecast community, Red Eye 247 Hot Wheels. Gonna shoot a little video, see what we can do today. I'm gonna show you. Been seeing some of these videos on when people do wheel swaps and customs, which is pretty cool. I mean, we all have ideas, and maybe we learn or get some ideas. But I'm gonna show what I do when I do a wheel swap. I've been wanting to do this wheel swap for a while on this, but I'm gonna show you. Usually, you can get your own rod. You can go buy them at Hobby Lobby or reuse some of the other rods, but these will come in like 12 or 14-inch rods, and these are thicker than the ones that usually come off the real riders or off your wheels whenever you trim them. It's gonna be these right here, like that right there. They're gonna get pretty long, and you got these. But to me, I can be picky sometimes when I do these things. But like whenever you just use a basic one, a basic wheel swap, you usually snip it, and then you got the rod that looks like that on the end, the normal side, how it looks. And then when you go to the other side, it's already cut off. So all you gotta do is you crimp this end right here. You crimp that end, and then that's how it pretty much looks. It looks good on one side and one on the other. And of course, this wheel falls off because it doesn't want to stay on. But and you just have one long end. You really don't have, how do I say, two ends that are like this on that back end. Don't mind the Freddy Krueger fingers. I've been working so hard. I need to trim these motherfuckers. But anyway, just trying to show you guys. It's not like that. But I'm just going to show you what I do to fix that little problem. Like I said, I don't like it where it's flat on one wheel and then pointy on the other. I'm trying to see if I can show it on the camera. But where it looks good on one side and the other side will look just like that, where you crimp it and it looks kind of, to me, I just never liked it like that. I like it to try to make it look factory and original as possible. But with this one, what I usually do is once I pretty much have this all apart on your base down here, once you take it all apart, like I said, this is just a regular rod you can get at Hobby Lobby. Have different sizes, but these are just perfect and they're nice and thick. If it shows up, but I don't like that look where it's like that and then you crimp it on that end and then it's sticking out. And then trying to describe it here, and then the other end looks like this, all perfect from the good side you kept. I like it to look like that on all four sides. So what I do is I'll take you can get these tubings. You can get this tube there at Hobby Lobby. Like I said, they sell this tube there. They sell it also in 12, 14-inch strips. That's like 3 or 4 that come in there. You'll have to take this tube, and then this, where you took the wheels are at there, you'll have to do some grinding and smoothing. Like I said, I have some files that I have, just files you'll file out here, a little here. You'll hit both spots, and then you can also use, I mean, you'll figure out all different stuff you can use, but you'll sand it, and then you'll get it to where your tubing fits in there. So once your tubing's in there, you're gonna have to cut it also, but you just want to make sure you get it where it's gonna be, sits in there, it sits flush. You can even do this to also raise. There's a couple other tricks I used when I want to raise up the wheels to make it a little bit higher. Maybe next time I'll show that. But anyway, you'll get this to fit. Like I said, once you get it fit in there, it's going to be flush this end and this end. You're going to have to cut it. I usually just mark it and I'll take a little Dremel and I'll just cut it real quick. But I'll show you here. I'll get this. I'll get it set up where it's at there. And I'll get my little marker here, a little pin, and I'm going to mark it where I think it's going to be cut, needs to get cut. Oops, jeez. But you get this. I guess I had it backwards. Like I say, get that set where it's flush. Right there. Mark it where it needs to get cut flush, because you want to flush on both sides. So I'm going to mark that there. And then once you get that, make sure you remember which ones you do. That's going to be a top. And then you have one for the bottom. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes one's bigger than the other. And you go from there. But there you go, you got it marked, so you know where to go with the Dremel and know where to cut it. Let me get this lid back on this marker. All right, like I just usually take a Dremel to it. I'll take a Dremel and I'll get ready to cut it. But I can't cut with my left hand because I'm a righty. But here, give me a few seconds here and we'll try. Okay, and we're back now, and I have this got it cut, trimmed down. Got it trimmed down here and there. You can see I have it in there. Now what you're gonna do is when you cut these, I use a Dremel, so I don't know, there might be an easier way, who knows. But when you cut these, I usually take one of these rods. I have a lot of these extra rods that I was using for axles at first. Like I said, they're pretty stout. They're actually stronger than the ones that come on the original cars. But I'll get it and I'll just poke it through to make sure everything's clear. Everything went through, which that does. Put it back in there where it goes on the top. Then we'll take this. Because usually when I cut it with the Dremel, one end is kind of rough and the other end is regular. But you can always, once you get this started and go through to make the hole it needs to go, it straightens itself back out. So that, and then there I do that, and then sometimes I'll take a file. I'll take a file to it and I'll flatten this down, kind of to make it smooth. Get it there. You can always, once you get it set in the car, you can always set it and always readjust it, or not readjust it, but just recheck it. But anyway, I'll get this in there. I'll get them both set, and I have it just like that right there. My top and my bottom are pretty much ready to go. So you have a little play, but you don't have much. And then next comes the part where I'll start getting ready to insert the axles in there. Like I say, whenever you cut the wheels, you can always use both sides, but you're gonna, I mean, you can keep these. You're just gonna trim your axles a little bit shorter. So what you're gonna do, or what I do, is I'll take here and I'll try to measure at least halfway to each one. Now I know how far it's gonna go, and once again I'll get it and I'll mark it. I'll leave those in there and I'll mark it. Like I said, there's probably an easier way to get it set in there, but this is the way I've done it. And I'll trim as I need to. But I'll get it here. Try to eyeball it. Then I'm gonna put a little mark on it. Of course, can't find my lid. But I'll see where my mark's at. Right where I got my mark. I'm gonna snip it. A little bit more. So at least I know how far I'm gonna be going. So I got that side's there. Let me see. I had some that I took off earlier, off another build. They might be long enough. They might be just the right size. But you can always go back. So you'll go back and kind of adjust it. And once you get them both, you can kind of almost line them both up, and you'll see how close they're gonna be. Let me see if I can get this up there and I'll show you guys. I need an overhead camera and I could really show you, but I'm not too technical yet. It's gonna look something like that. You got your two axles, and they'll be in this holder. I guess you can say homemade axles. They'll be in there. They won't be touching because you'll cut them short enough to where they both go up in there and stay. But that's pretty much how I'll do both to get them in there. But that's how I do that on the top and the bottom. Let me get that going here, then I'll come right back. Give me one. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, we're back here now. I've got pretty much my axles cut. My first axle cut here that I cut how long I'm gonna need them. Here's my main axle piece that's gonna go into the car. Because I have them both in there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'll double check, triple check everything just to see how far they go in, because sometimes they're going to be a little bit shorter. It's not going to be the actual fit. And goddamn, dog won't shut the hell up like it wants the damn snack that's in the basket. Quit, doggy, please. I didn't hear that. Here we go. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna set these in there. So, like I say, I'll usually do one at a time because I want to make sure I have it in there right. So let me take that one out. And this is the glue that I've always, this glue I've gotten at Hobby Lobby. It's this extreme. It's real thick. It doesn't move around a lot. It's real good glue. It doesn't take long for it to dry. Once it does its thing, it does its thing. I'll pretty much take it, and I'm gonna insert this in there. And hold on, dog, sit down. Dog wants to sit in the basket of clothes, which is weird, but I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna insert this axle in there, and then I'm gonna insert this, and I'm gonna glue them. I'm gonna glue them in there together like that. So when it's all said and done, it's gonna be pretty much, that's gonna be the axle there, and it's just gonna sit right back in there where it needs to. Oh, I can't even show you because I'm off camera. It's gonna set. It's gonna set in here. That's gonna set back in there, just where it needs to be. Like I say, so you need to make sure whenever you put this rack in there that you have everything in here ready to go. And sometimes you'll have to make some adjustments on this body part up here too, right here. See, I went it just a little bit wider, but that's pretty much it. That's how I set the. That's how I make the axles, because I want it to look custom on this end here, and I want it to look custom on this end here. So I'm gonna have it just like that. I pretty much, I'll get the glue out. When I get this glue here, I'll man, this one's stuck on there. Let's see. I haven't used this glue in a while. Oh, yep, there it goes. Just ripped it. Yeah, strong glue though. I will say that. I will give it that. It's some strong glue. I think I got pliers over here. Glue pliers, right there. Got these pliers. Oh, that ain't going nowhere. That's stuck. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much down to its last life anyway. Shoot, what can I put this on? Here, I'm just gonna use this right here. I'm gonna glue my axle, get this ready and get that ready there. And once you have everything set, that's not gonna touch here, but let me get this glue out. Okay, we're kind of back now. I'm gonna set this in here where I need it to be. I'm gonna set my axle in there, and I already got glue. I got it glued in there. And when you glue that, you want to make sure your axle is still spin, because once it sets, it sets. So I got it where it needs to be. And if you want them closer, just push them in a little bit closer if that's how you want them. But just make sure, just remember it's gonna turn. Let me get this in here just a little more. Got that set. There we go. Well, that side wasn't in there, but this side is. So let me get more glue. I usually just take one of these rods and I'll dip it in the glue, and I'll hit it in here, but I can't tell if I'm in the glue or not. Let me see. Come right. Take 5. Okay, we're back now. I had to let that glue set. I should have been more prepared. Need an overhead camera, because this camera in front of me just a little odd, a little awkward. But I did everything that I tried to show you. Hopefully, came out good. I'll find out when I edit this video. But like I said, I got my axles, got my wheels. Like I said, my wheels spin. You want to make sure they spin. You got to kind of turn them when it dries, because this glue dries. When it dries, and it's not going to go nowhere. It doesn't take much. That's what I like about this glue. It doesn't take much. Like I said, you got your axles. You got my axles there. We're pretty much ready to go after that. Like I said, you got your base. Everything's ready, smooth out. Like I said, you're gonna file. You're gonna take a file. You're gonna sand it out. You're gonna make it to where that axle fits in there. And there's a lot of things you can do. Whenever I want to bring up the tires up into the fender, make them higher, I add a few of those rods in here, and it picks it up. It's a little technique that I've done. There's other techniques you can do, but I'll just show you what it looks like when you start putting the car together. Like I said, you got your base. You're gonna put your car. You're gonna put them where they were at, or so you remember where they go. You have your top, and you got your back, and then you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna work on that bottom base a little because these axles are a little bit wider. So you're gonna, like I said, you'll set it in there. And pretty much it. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and I had some other rail riders, but I like these. These were a whole lot better. I did like these, but that's pretty much it. Once it's set, it sits in there. It looks like it was original. I like to keep all four looking the same. It looks the same there, and it looks the same there. You do it right. Like I say, you got to watch that glue. Like I say, it's gonna turn, but sometimes you can over sand it and then it won't turn. But like I said, it rolls. It rolls. Trying to go. The camera looks like it's going slow, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I was ready to do this one. I usually drill it, and I have some screws that I use in it, but I got enough to do one car left, and I have 3 cars that I'm working on, so I'm trying to figure out which one I'm gonna do. I might do the old school thing, and I might just glue this one, but like I said, this glue that I have on there, that glue works really good. Get it at Hobby Lobby for $2.99. It's called the Extreme Power. It's thick. Like I say, once you put it somewhere, it stays. It doesn't run like super glue or anything else. It stays there. But that's pretty much it, man. I thought I'd try to do something different, show a little wheel swap. But like I said, I like to keep all 4 axles the same, not just 2 this way, then 2 the other side, which you got to crimp. I like it to try to keep original, make it look original. But that's pretty much it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial that everybody else has been doing, but hope you guys liked it. I am out.